Permaculture is the art and science of designing sustainable human settlements. And the idea is that we can regenerate ecosystems by providing our basic needs. Currently, the status quo is to degenerate ecosystems, and we're seeing the results of that currently in the world with climate change, habitat destruction, yada yada. So the idea is that we can do all that without destroying the planet and live in harmony with nature, essentially.
How would that roll out? I mean, if you're king for a day, how would you roll it out?
That is the question that we've all been grappling with, is the transition. And what's a practical transition? Save ridding the world of a large percentage of the population. How can we actually provide our basic needs without the current systems that we have in place? It's a large ship. And as you know, it takes a long time to turn these ships that have a lot of momentum. So it's going to have to start with baby steps, and it's going to depend also on the context. So there's no blanket answer to how do we make that change. It's going to vary in each specific context, and there's a process for determining where we start. But I could just say straight out, the first and probably most important step is to save the existing forests we have and plant more forests. Trees provide ecosystem services that we all depend on. Water filtration, air purification, they create oxygen, they cool the planet. There's a million benefits that trees provide to us. And currently we take them for granted. And these trees in particular, you know, these are thousands of years old, and it's not like you can just plant one and have it grow. I mean, you're going to be waiting 1,000 years. So in our children's lifetime, we will not see anything like this again. So there's a million reasons why they need to be saved and propagated, obviously because of the genetic diversity that they contain. But trees are our friends. They call me the Lorax, and that's, I speak for the trees because they have no tongues. And if they could speak to us, they would say, slow down. Stop cutting us down. Start planting us, caring for us. Value us as you would your family, because they're our grandmothers, they're our grandfathers, and they will take care of us. They do take care of us, and they have gotten us to this point now. We owe our existence to trees.
So what would you think would be a good place for someone to visit where mankind is interacting with permaculture? Are there a couple good examples that people can access?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the gold standard of permaculture is a managed wild system. So, for example, something like the Amazon rainforest, which is a millennia-old managed ecosystem. It's actually a pharmacy, with an F, if you will. This is a food forest. It's producing food, fuel, fiber, and pharmaceuticals to the people who live there. And they, through sublime knowledge and observation and interaction with that environment, have shifted it to benefit not only the ecosystem itself, but them, humans, as an integral part of the ecosystem. So that's the gold standard, are intact indigenous cultures that are still actively managing their wildlands. And actually, on that note, what wilderness is a foreign word to indigenous peoples, because there is no such thing as a separation between civilization and wilderness. It's all one. And that, I think, is the disconnect that we have currently, is this idea that ecosystem restoration, we need to remove humans from the ecosystem in order to restore it. However, our job is stewards. So we need to be actively interacting with these ecosystems in order to manage them in a way to ensure their longevity. This is a perfect example in this context here, where we have dead standing second growth Doug fir that actually can cause potential injury to these ancient trees. It can cause a crown fire. If you have dead standing trees underneath the base of these massive trees, it'll catch the crown on fire and it'll kill the trees. So we need to come in and actively manage the forests, because the ecosystem has been so disrupted. It's lacking the large herbivores that were here before us. Tule elk. Imagine huge herds of tule elk passing through this region, trampling all the dead undergrowth, giving it contact with the ground so the mushrooms can convert it into plant foods, And this is the cycle. So we need to somehow mimic nature in our retrofitting and our regeneration of these environments. So we need to learn from nature and look to the past and utilize tools that we have that are analogous to those ancient tools. And we have all the tools at our disposal. We don't need to create anything new. Yeah. That's the beauty of it, everything that we need is right here in front of us.
Here and now.
And it's possible. We can do it. All we need to do is have the will.
Yeah. Do you have any suggested reading for folks?
Well, the Permaculture Designer's Manual, they say, would be, if information was density, it would be a black hole. So that's a good place to start if you really want to dive in, is the Permaculture Designer's Manual, which is the Bible really for sustainable design. And that one book alone will blow your mind open. And it's really a paradigm shift. The biggest climate change we need currently is the climate change of the mind between our ears. That is the climate change we need, is to change the paradigm, flip the script, because the current way we're doing things obviously is not working. It's catching up to us. It's caught up to us, really. And so I'm not going to be an apocalyptic person and say we only have so much time left. I don't know how much time we have left.
Right.
The fact of the matter is it's getting less hospitable and it's becoming more challenging.